Hey everybody, this is the Titanic Gamer Dude here, and welcome back to my Let's Play video guide of Resident Evil 6 on Hope difficulty. We are on Chapter 5 on Ada's campaign, and we are with the final showdown with Derek C. Simmons himself. So yeah, you're actually supposed to like shoot Derek C. Simmons here, but we don't actually have to. It's not mandatory to shoot him. During this time, I'd actually recommend like you shoot the zombies so you can get ammunition. Get some ammunition to spawn. And also, this is one of the few parts on No Hope where there's actually going to be like reliable herb drops, which that's really something you want. And yeah, sniper bullets work wonders here too. Sniper bullets in general are just really good. So yeah, I'm just gonna shoot him with a crossbow arrow there. Make sure there are no zombies around you either, because you don't want him. You don't want the zombies. You don't want the zombies interfering and possibly destroying you and biting you. So you want to be sure you know the positions of the zombies. Yeah, he takes 3 sniper shots to stall. Yeah, so there's a zombie here. You're just gonna flop around, and now I'm just going to do that to you. And now that we're all at the top, doesn't matter where your position's at, Ada Wong is going to teleport to a spot where she can be leapt on by Derek C. Simmons. And yeah, then we get this very sweet, heartwarming scene, very reminiscent of Resident Evil 2. The soundtrack that plays is even similar to it, very similar, but just with Resident Evil 6, with Resident Evil 6 main theme being the bass. Yeah, at this point, Derek C. Simmons is so gone within the infection of the advanced C virus, and his just his insanity that yeah, he really can't tell the difference between the clone Ada or the normal Ada. And I find that weird because Ada's signature color is red, Carla Adam's signature color is blue, and there Leon should just be dead, but you know, he's not, because it's Resident Evil, and the plot in Resident Evil, there are so many places where your character should just realistically die, but of course we're not going to. So yeah, this is the last fight with Derek C. Simmons and with Ada, and he provides a worthy final boss. Yeah, so I'm angling him away from the edges of the part of the building we're on, so I can actually avoid him or evade him successfully. And every time he shoots those bones, be sure to shoot him right in the face. Oh, I missed that shot. Yeah, see, he tried to grab me. Stupid attack. Yeah, shoot him right in the face. These grenade launchers are doing so much damage to him. Nice. Alright. Yeah, don't be afraid to use this little place over here, too. Do not be afraid to do that. And when you do get him over there to that place on the building, you want to just run. Ooh, that hurt. Not as much as I thought it would, though. Yeah, make sure Leon does not get in your way, because the grenade will blow up in your face and you'll just be in dying status. So, yeah, do your best to just not get hit by your own grenades. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm just dominating him at mid-range, and at long range, and that's where you want to be against this guy. You want to be at long range, pelting him away. Yeah, I saw him raise his head up, so I just immediately stopped shooting, and yeah, you want to squeeze in as much damage as you can on this boss, because he takes so much of it. That's basically how all bosses are in this game, just glorified bullet sponges. But he's really threatening. He's a really threatening bullet sponge, and House is really threatening. Usna can be threatening. They're all threatening bullet sponges. So they're not like bullet sponges that just like do nothing. And as you can see, I'd rather use up all of my grenade ammo. And sometimes I'll actually shoot after Leon, and you want to use that opportunity to just keep shooting him. Yeah, and sometimes I'll just start laughing when he does. Shoot him accordingly. Yeah, Leon, the AI, is a sharpshooter. So you just want to use that time to just shoot. Alright. 10 bullets. Oh, he tried to. Oh, he tried to aim after Leon. That was a dumb move by me. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep shooting him with my shotgun. Okay, he's in the range where he can hit me with that ridiculous attack, and I'm just not gonna stay in that range. All right, it's coming after me. I'm just gonna shoot him in the body with the crossbow arrow. Yeah, see, he tried to get me there, but I anticipated and I evaded it successfully. There we go. Uh-oh. Zombies. At this point, you don't actually have to shoot Derek C. Simmons. You just gotta wait for the QTE to activate. During this time, quickly search around for any items you could pick up. Run up and press the B button before he stomps Leon's hand off and he dies. So yeah, I picked up that ammo box, ammunition, and yeah. Sent Simmons packing. Yeah, so he quote-unquote dies, he goes into the fire, and he just dies. No, he doesn't. Because anybody infected with the G-Virus or anything remotely similar to the G-Virus is ridiculously durable. Unless you're a human being who's been infected with the T-Virus and you mutate into a tyrant. So yeah, Ada Wong sends him the data. Wait, does she send him anything? I think she does. Yeah, she does. She sends him the data. I'm gonna have to explain how I feel about this game on Ada's credits. Yeah, that'll do justice. I guess I can make a video on like how you should be playing Resident Evil 6 to enjoy it the most. So yeah, before I do any of that, yes, I'm going to cut it here very shortly actually. Yep, this is where Carla did her experiments. Ada, clever, clever, clever. I'm gonna cut it before I hit this button, but yeah, I'll have like 9 minutes to you know, do everything I need to do. So let's use the quad tower key. Open the door.
Another failure. Bring me another subject.
Yeah. Yikes.
Why do you think we had this lab built here in the first place?
Really good on ammo too.
Just go outside. There's thousands of subjects to choose from. Tell Simmons that we're busy. I'm on the verge of solving this.
Uh-oh. Solving what?
Are you refusing my orders? You're the one who chose me as a test subject, aren't you?
Ooh.
No, Simmons. He forced me to, please. Don't do this.
He forced me to. Don't do this, please. Is what he said.
Believe it or not,
Believe it or not,
I said the exact same.
I said the exact same thing.
I finally done it.
I finally done it.
Will be my
This will be my greatest work yet. So what is this greatest work of hers? Who knows? But all we do know is that the C-Virus is way too unpredictable. Way too good and way too unpredictable. Ooh, who knows what type of... It's when you see a chrysalis in this game, it's like a party ball. What's gonna come out of it? Yeah, she said we're beyond sympathy at this point. We're beyond humanity. That's a really good quote from Ada. So, yeah, Ada Wong is normally a character who shows no emotion or barely any. In this one scene, you know, it's justified in my opinion. Well, it is out of character, and that can cause a lot of hate for the scene. Carla Adams successfully stole her identity and was going to completely obliterate Ada Wong's reputation within her organization and within everything else. And that would have invalidated Ada completely. She would have just died off. So, like, Ada's campaign is actually, it's key. It keeps her relevant in the series, basically. Although I did think the campaign was slightly unneeded, because we all know that what the outcome would have been. Ada's going to win. Because it's Ada Wong, one of the best femme fatales ever.
Job, huh? Sure. My schedule adjusts clear.
So, my whole opinion on Resident Evil 6. Oh, man. Here we go. I believe Resident Evil 6 did a lot of things right for the Resident Evil series. Like, I do believe that, Resident Evil 6 has some of the most fluid movement in the series, in my honest opinion. You can dodge from just normal running speed, from normal pacing speed, and you can run, and then you can let go of the A button, hold left trigger to go into your aim position, and then you can roll out of it. You can duck enemy attacks, although ducking is kind of like unneeded in this game. The cover system, I believe the cover system in this game is much more usable than Resident Evil 5, because Resident Evil 5 has one of the worst cover systems ever. But the reason why it's so viable in this game is because when you're playing on Chris's campaign, and even on Jake's, there's going to be Dwabo that are going to fire at you with TMPs and automatics. And they can wreck your face on higher difficulties. One of the biggest flaws of this game actually is in the game's skill equips. Skill equips in this game are ridiculously overpowered. They can make the game so ridiculously drab and dull and just tenacious, because you'll blow up everything, like even on professional mode. If you have like defense level 3, firearm level 3, and then you have one infinite ammo on something like on your assault rifle, you'll just blow through the game and you'll completely invalidate everything. Even bosses will just fall. And considering how the game is designed around like casual players who are going to use those skills. So like, if you don't put in the time to lab to understand how the physics work in this game, you know, you're going to stay at that casual level and you won't come to actually like enjoy the game. Because like the way Capcom made the game from like an advanced standpoint, it's actually really technical and it's really fun. But you have to play it in a very peculiar and specific way. Because like if you play the game with skills and you just blow through everything, you'll get bored with the game. Play the game without skills. Literally, like put it on veteran mode at least, and then play without your skills, and you'll take quite a bit of damage. And you work your way up to professional, and then you work your way up to no hope. And it gets really interesting on like professional and no hope, because you die, you get put in dying status ridiculously easily. All those ammo drops you have, they give you less ammo, even more so than on like veteran. And the herb drops on no hope are like non-existent. On professional, they're like incredibly rare. So you're forced to go through certain parts of the campaign on everyone's you're forced to go to certain chapters, and everybody has a chapter that you can grind on to get ammo, and you're forced to do that when you play on no hope. And I believe that's like a fantastic way to, you know, do the game. Or if you're like really hardcore, you can start out with like barely any ammo and you can just evade all these enemies, and you can play on no hope that way. That way works too. But I feel that's actually really good, because that's one of the things like older Resident Evil games didn't have, is like, okay, if you know where items are at, depending on the difficulty, you know, everything is set in stone. all the items are set in stone. So once you play the game, after you play the game the first time, the game loses its appeal, like in the older Resident Evils, because you know where everything is at, and you know where to go. And in Resident Evil 6, yeah, you know where to go, but you're going to come up with ammo shortages on higher difficulties. Yeah, but one of the best things I can advise is don't play with skills equipped, because skill equips are busted in this game. They really are. Like, play without your skills, they'll force you to brush up on your skills in this game. Like, overall, I believe I did significantly better on this little Let's Play guide than on my last Let's Play of Resident Evil 6. I was, like, significantly worse. And then, you know, after that, I labbed, I put in the time and effort, and I got significantly better. And I actually enjoy the game a lot more now, because I was really whiny and complainy in my last Let's Play of Resident Evil 6, and it took significantly longer to complete campaigns. And then on this, I literally get done in less than like 50 episodes, which I'm actually proud of myself on. I'm really proud of myself for doing this. And now I went over enemy mechanics, and I didn't want to go over boss mechanics because boss mechanics are way too specific, and there's already enough specificality with enemies in this game, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, Resident Evil 6 also has some of the best bosses in the series, in my opinion. Like, the bosses are really hype. There's enough symbolism in, like, the Derek C. Simmons fight and in the Carla Adams fight, even though the Carla Adams fight was pretty underwhelming. It was incredibly underwhelming. The story, like in a lot of the other Resident Evil games, the story, the way Capcom tells the stories in Resident Evil, it's almost as if, like, the game doesn't want to take itself seriously. It's like in Resident Evil 4 when Salazar says, "I've sent my right hand to dispose of you," and Leon says, "Your right hand comes off." You know, the story is like, it's just the story of Resident Evil. You know, it's something you really shouldn't get too serious with, but it's there if you're interested, which that's a good thing, in my opinion. What else does this game do well? Oh, the Mercenaries mode, incredibly fun. One of the best things about this game. The online, really good. Online connections are really strong. Characters in this game, the characters that have the best development would be Jake and Sherry. Helena Harper, she has good character development. Chris and Piers, those two have the best bromance. Just when we're beginning to like Piers, he died. Yeah, Jake had good character development too. But yeah, that's my whole overview on the game itself. Hello everybody, this is Titanic Gamer Dude here, and this is going to be like an addendum of like my Let's Play on this, for my thoughts. Would I recommend you like get Resident Evil 6? Definitely. I definitely recommend you buy this game. I personally believe it's good. But I didn't actually get to talk about the flaws of this game, and that is where, like, that's one part I didn't get to touch on in the previous part when I said goodbye. It's like, wow, that was stupid. This game has a bunch of little flaws that just amalgamate into, like, a gargantuan issue. Like, here's one of the biggest flaws of this game. During in-game cutscenes that, like, don't include, like, you being able to skip them with, like, the select button, your character is actually still vulnerable to enemy attacks, but you can only be vulnerable to enemy attacks when you're just exiting out of the cutscene, and if the enemy's hitbox actually gets detected by the collision detector on your character's hurtbox. And in other words, like, when a cutscene activates and your character's not moving, enemies are still able to move and attack you. And that's one of the biggest flaws of the game, because it makes even little enemies a big pain in the butt if you haven't disposed of them properly, and if you don't know what to do. What else? A lot of the areas around QTEs, or button prompts, for interacting with the environment around the characters is obscenely large, way too large. Because, like, okay, you'll be holding left trigger, but you'll accidentally hug a wall, and your character will just go up against the wall, and then you'll just try to turn left or right, and your character will, the perspective will switch to left-handed to right-handed, and it's just bipolar. Um, I don't know why the ducking mechanic is in this game, although it does serve its purposes, but why would you want to duck when you can roll left or right? I understand getting on your back to in prone position is incredibly useful too. Um, Sliding is probably the more useful of the two. What else? What other flaws in the game? Oh yeah, the OP chopper. OP chopper was ridiculous. Um, you could make an argument that enemy durability is ridiculous in this game too, and rightfully so. Enemy durability in Resident Evil 6 is ridiculous. It's supposed to be a highlight of how powerful the C-Virus really is, though. Um, Other flaws with the game would include the biggest, most notable flaw of this game is you suffer way too much goddamn hit stun. Like your character, like the only way to negate hit stun somewhat is to hold left trigger and the A button so your character won't flop on the ground. If your character like flops on the ground, they are incredibly vulnerable to being shot at by enemies, and that's not a good thing in this game, especially on higher difficulties. Like the only time you'll actually get better at the game is when you look at the flaws of this game, but you'll only really look at the flaws of this game if you play without skills and on higher difficulties. That's the only time you'll be able to actually see the flaws in this game, and that is the characters suffer so much hit stun, and that's because enemies are super powerful in this game. And how it works is, like in Resident Evil 6, is either you're going to punish enemies and you're going to clear out a whole army of enemies, and you're going to do it perfectly, or not perfectly, or you're going to do it really well with taking little damage, or if you mess up, you're going to get stun locked to death. And in that sense, the game is really punishing, and that can make the game really hard. But it's only after, until you learn your trial and error, is when you'll get good at the game, It's like, when you look at all these people on YouTube playing these hard games, it's like, okay, look at the past. The past is much uglier. They've died a lot, they put in the time, they put in the effort, and they've labbed. And they grew strong. So yeah, you suffer way too much stun in this game. You can get stun locked so easily by enemies, but you can stun lock enemies ridiculously easily. Like, you shoot a Jawabo in the face and they don't mutate, they'll instantly just hold their face to their head, put their hand to their face, and they'll just get stunned. You shoot a Jawabo in the arm long enough, they'll just hold their arm in pain. You hit a zombie, they can get stunned. You have melees that are actually kind of overly effective. You have takedowns that instantly kill most enemies if you daze them enough. You have a coup de grace that can massively damage enemies. You can stun enemies just as much as they can stun you, and you can eliminate them just as quickly as they can eliminate you. But you won't actually be able to understand that unless you play the game without skills and on a higher difficulty. Trust me, your skills are ridiculously powerful, and that's probably one of the reasons why people say this game is so boring, is because you just equip your skills and you just go completely bat crap on everything. You crap on everything with your skills. And yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about the game in general. There's a very specific and finite way you should play this game, but if you play it that way, you'll enjoy it and you'll come to like the game and love it. So yeah, those are my final thoughts on Resident Evil 6. If anybody liked this Let's Play video guide, just let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, that's it for my Resident Evil 6 Let's Play video guide. I'm gonna have to get back on Dead Space 3 and some other projects I have in store though. So yeah, peace out.